The groups last for 6 weeks, and 8 people that have been bereaved by suicide will come together for 90 minutes each week with 2 facilitators that keep the group a safe space for them and allow them to talk about what they're going through. There's no structure as such to the groups. It's very much about what the people in the room want to talk about and what they feel they need support with. There's often a sense of isolation and a feeling that you're alone in what you're going through when someone has taken their own life. And I think part of that relates to the stigma that's still attached to suicide. There can also be a lot of difficult feelings that people go through if they've lost someone to suicide. Feelings like anger at yourself. Why didn't you see what was going on? Why didn't you do more to help that person that's ended their life? There can be anger towards the person that's died. Why did they do this? Why did they leave me? There can also be lots of feelings of shame and guilt. Again, I think a lot of that relates to the stigma around suicide. There can also be a lot of questions. Why? Why did this person leave me? Why did they feel that their life was no longer worth living? And the reality is that sometimes there will never be answers to those questions, and that can be a very difficult thing for someone to come to terms with. In my experience as a facilitator, the groups offer a safe space for people, for them to talk openly and honestly about what they're going through and feel listened to and supported. I think there's also a feeling of being understood because you're talking to other people that have been bereaved by suicide. Another really important element of the groups is the fact that they're mixed. Not only are you with people that have been bereaved for different lengths of time, but they'll have different relationships to the person that they've lost. And that can be really helpful in terms of giving someone insight into how their own family and friends might be feeling. And also, in speaking to people that have been bereaved for a longer period of time, I think it can help people build up ways of coping by hearing about what that person has gone through and how they've got through this experience. So overall, I think there's a real sense of hope by the end of the 6 weeks.